What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today we are going to be talking about the amusement park I talk about more than, well, any other amusement park, Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. A park that hasn't gotten a roller coaster in 5 years now. Yes, knowing the new 2023 edition, we can confirm, or at least almost confirm, that the next edition will not be a roller coaster but a 2-story restaurant on the lake. Now, I know this is a very mixed edition, a lot of people like it, but a lot of people don't, but we will not be talking about that today. We are going to be talking about their next roller coaster in the future. Now, Tony Clark during Coaster Mania said that the Cedar Point coaster legacy isn't over. I mean, it is America's rock and roller coast. They're going to continue to add roller coasters, that's for sure. But today, I wanted to talk about that next roller coaster. Now today, I won't be talking about the roller coaster that I would want the most, not the roller coaster that Cedar Point might pick next, the most likely, but I'm going to pick the roller coasters that Cedar Point needs the most. I have one thrilling coaster and one family coaster. We are going to start off with the family coaster, then talk about the thrill machine, and then we are going to talk about where this park could store this ride and when it will come out. So this is Cedar Flags, and today I'm going to talk about the roller coasters that Cedar Point needs the most. The first roller coaster I want to talk about that I think would be a perfect fit at Cedar Point would be the Gerstlauer Family Launch Coaster, something similar to Fire Chaser Express at Dollywood or Pegasus at Park Asterix. These roller coasters have a very unique feel to them indeed. Now, I was going to originally put a mock spinner coaster, something similar to Cobra's Curse at Busch Gardens Tampa, but I feel like this Gerstlauer multi-launch has a lot more variety. Let's talk about it. This would be an absolutely incredible coaster for the park. What we know about it, there are currently 5 existing models, so it wouldn't be some sort of prototype. There are lots of unique elements on these sort of rides, like a backwards launch, switch tracks, forwards launches, and all with that, lift hills as well. This ride could be for families and older groups because it has a pretty intermediate amount of thrill. Now at Dollywood, I absolutely loved Fire Chaser Express, and if this were at Cedar Point, I would definitely give it a few goes. So how would this benefit the park? How would this make Cedar Point a better place? First of all, it would be the first ever launched family coaster in the park's history. Now, its sister parks like Kings Island, Kings Dominion, they have family launch coasters in the form of backlot, but Cedar Point, a much bigger park that's trying to appeal to families, does not have one of these. And I really think that this sort of model would benefit Cedar Point way better than any other family coaster. Like I said, it would be a good family thrill coaster, it would bring in all groups together, it would provide some very unique elements, replace that backwards section that Wicked Twister had, and now Cedar Point doesn't have, and it is a small footprint capacity machine. These rides are also rather cheap compared to some alternatives, and overall, I think with a very flexible footprint, a very high capacity, and unique layout, this ride would absolutely thrive at the roller coaster capital of the world. So the next roller coaster I'm going to talk about is a good thrilling alternative. It's still a launch coaster, but much more extreme and very different from anything I've talked about before. I was originally going to talk about the Gerstlauer Family Launch's bigger brother, but I decided to pass on that. I think the best fit for Cedar Point right now in the thrill category would be the Mock Extreme Spinner for so many reasons, like Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City and Plopsaland's Ride to Happiness. Both of these rides provide an insane amount of variety. They have some great thrills to it while offering launches and a spinning car. It just looks absolutely insane, and I think at Cedar Point, even though it would be semi-similar to Maverick, it would fit. This would be one of the most unique ride experiences on the planet, and would be the only one of these in the region. Like I said, there's only 2 others in the world, and this would be very innovative. I think another reason would be that it would be very easy to break the ride's records. If they made this, let's say, 170 feet tall, it would be the tallest spinning coaster in the world. And why would this benefit Cedar Point? Well, like I said, it would be a new world's tallest. This would be the first spinner at Cedar Point, and would be the only remaining roller coaster at Cedar Point to feature a backwards section. Plus, this ride would have very unique inversions. Something else that not a lot of people have mentioned about this ride, at least not a Cedar Point version, is that while riding this ride, you have a different experience every time. which will increase the amount of re-ridership. This being a capacity machine, and with Cedar Fair's great relationship with Mock Rides, I think this could work out absolutely perfectly. So, when we were talking about the next new coaster spot at Cedar Point, we know a lot of us were thinking about Wicked Twister's old spot, but now we know that that is not going to be the case, because they are replacing that with a 2-story restaurant. Now, even though there is a little bit of space remaining, I feel like that's still not enough to build a new major coaster, not even in the sense of a family ride. So, where could I see it? The first area I want to talk about and shine a light upon are the Raptor picnic groves. These are the picnic groves in between Raptor and the main entrance and Blue Streak, and let's just say these are a little outdated. These are barely used anymore when it comes to the overall park attendance, because they made new picnic groves near the boardwalk right outside of the park, and a lot more people use that than the picnic groves. Plus, you are not allowed to bring food inside of the park, so when it comes to groups, not a lot of people are going to use these picnic groves to eat, because, well, they'll be eating in the restaurants. I say take these down and add something brand new. Something very similar to a family coaster or even a thrilling coaster, I think would be perfect in this area. The second area I want to talk about is the Cedar's Hotel spot. This was the spot that held one of the oldest remaining buildings at Cedar Point up until the last recent years that they tore it down. This was a very historic building, and though they recently replaced it with a temporary monster truck exhibit, that is gone now. And this whole area is consisted of dirt. I really think a new roller coaster would be great here, and the fact that Cedar Point has barely touched it makes me feel like something new could be coming here. Finally, let's admit it and talk about the elephant in the room, the plot of land that Top Thrill Dragster currently sits on. Now, we don't know if this roller coaster is going to be removed or not, but I mean, the signs are definitely pointing in favor to it being removed than it reopening. Now, who knows, in 2023 I could be completely wrong, or the ride could still be in a state of limbo, but what we know right now is that the ride is currently not open due to a major accident that happened last year, and we don't know the future of this ride. If this ride did get removed though, God forbid it doesn't, there would be a huge property to deal with. Now, it wouldn't just be the property of Dragster, but the property of the Riverside right next to it that they could add a coaster over. It would be a very long and very thin property, unless they would want to intermerge with a ride like Iron Dragon. And with that sort of case, it could be a little bit bigger of a property, and you could add either or a Gerstlauer multi-launch here, or a Mach Extreme Spinner here. For when this would happen, I would say the best choice would be 2023. It is coming up on 5 years that Cedar Point has not added a coaster, and that may sound spoiled to me as an enthusiast saying that, well, this has been so long, but I think that 2024 opening up for that date would be a great goal. That would be 6 years after Steel Vengeance, and provide not too long of a coaster gap between rides. But anyway, what do you think about this? What do you think Cedar Point's perfect new coaster would be? Yes, of course, we would all want to see that new Giga Coaster or that RMC T-Rex that soars up to 500 feet, but realistically, I would like to see these before that. So, let me know what you thought about the video. This is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.